Hey guys, welcome to Brickstars. As we wrap up 2023, we wanted to take a look at all the sets that we purchased this year and do a recap of why we purchased them, what we liked about them, and which ones were our favorites. So, looking at 2023 at a glance, we bought about 30 sets. And now this does not include any collectible minifigures, things off the Pick-a-Brick website, things on local classifieds, and local stores. This is what we purchased with Lego directly, and the value is roughly $3,500 US that we spent. We purchased things across different themes. Our style and our preference usually leans towards the 18 plus icon sets, and this year specifically there was a lot of city stuff that we really liked and bought as well. So one thing to keep in mind, we're only going to look at sets that were released in 2023. So last year's or current year sets and what we bought this year as well. Because we did buy some sets that are from older years, but we won't be covering those in this video. So to kick things off, we're going to start with the biggest one. And this is 10316, the Lord of the Rings Rivendell set. So reasons we bought this set is it's a beautiful display piece. Obviously, it's a huge set, over 6,000 parts. There's a lot of amazing building techniques here that you can see with the gazebo and the roof and the tower and the trees. And there's a lot of new molds as well. So specifically these little fern pieces that they released, we like those ever since the box art came out and are big fans of having this piece in our collection. Obviously, you get a lot of minifigures, and we think the collectible value of this set, if you've seen the Lord of the Rings or Hobbit sets from about 10 years ago, they've done really well. So I think a set like this will always hold its value. Here we have some more detailed shots. Again, you see how large the build is, all the minifigures scattered around, and just beautiful building techniques throughout. So having this one on display, it's really, truly like a piece of art. Having a look at the back, there is a ton of detail, the different rooms, statues, portraits. There's little hints here at potentially more Lord of the Rings sets next year. Hopefully we do get those. A nice weapons area here. So overall, beautiful looking set. A couple detailed shots, and we're big fans of Lord of the Rings. So to see this setup here, an iconic scene when the Fellowship gets together and decides to group with Frodo to take the ring and get it destroyed. And look at this assortment of minifigures. And what we really love about these is we do have some of the original Lord of the Rings sets, but they've actually updated and modernized the torsos for a lot of these. So they are similar, but you are getting all new minifigures with this set, which is always awesome. And a lot of new weapons molds, so it's tough to see in this photo, but they had, I think just in this set, some new axes and swords that they don't have anywhere else. So that's the biggest set, and obviously one of the more expensive ones, but it was a set we had to get. Next up, we've got the gifts that we bought for other people. Specifically, this was for my mom. She's a big fan of building these flowers. She likes building puzzles as well, so this is just a natural fit, and she's got a couple of them already, so I did get these from this year. I think there's still a couple more I have to get to complete her collection, but she loves these builds. They look great, and from far away they do look pretty realistic actually. She always gets people complimenting her on how nice the flowers look, so these were gifts that we bought for other people and not for ourselves. And then we did also get some gifts from Lego. So we may have gotten smaller poly bags and things as well, but these were really the big sets that we got. And of course, that's Magisto's Workshop and the Scary Pirate set. We're big fans of the builds here and the parts that we get, and we're happy to receive those as gifts.
Yeah, this is my area of expertise here. I do love the Lego vehicles that you get, these bigger sets especially. And this year's Land Rover, I gotta say, it may be my favorite one. I grew up loving Land Rovers ever since I was a kid, and just having this in my collection and having this really on the shelf with the other ones looks awesome. It's a beautiful display piece. It adds to my collection, and it is just of a beautiful car. So here we see a close-up of the smaller Land Rover. I do have both of them, and we took some photos with it. It's a beautiful little build. I do like that it is 6 studs wide, so it matches with the other cars that I have from Lego. And even though it's kind of branded, it still fits in really nicely with the Lego City cars that are, call it, unbranded. And really nice build for this one. A simple build, but beautiful nonetheless. And this is the big boy. This is the one that I was waiting all year for, and I'm so happy to have it. I just love the fact you get multiple motors, multiple different styles if you want to have this off-road package, or if you want to have kind of like a farm truck package, you get to choose and build what you want. And I always do like when they give us the customization. With the Mustang, we've seen that, and with some of the other cars, the Porsche, where you can have a Targa or not. So you really does add to these builds. You could build them twice and build them a different assortment as well, and just looks amazing.
And what I like about this one is all the accessory pieces that you get, like awesome builds, very realistic looking. So the jerry cans, toolkits, shovel, and the tires and rims look great as well.
Fire extinguisher, just tons of details. Like everywhere you look, like they used multiple pieces to make all this stuff, and it's a nice scale. Like that fire extinguisher is a perfect scale for this car.
Totally.
So just comparing it to some of the other sets that were released recently, I have both of these, as well as the Mini Cooper and the V-Dub Beetle and all this stuff. And this matches perfectly. It is a bit bigger, I would say, but I mean, it is a truck, and there is a lot of pieces that go into this, so you can't really ding him for that. It just ends up looking great. And both of these cars on the bottom are the muscle cars, the American muscle cars that were released recently. And Land Rover being a British build, we do have a lot of European, call it, cars as well. So like the bus, the double-decker bus, and of course the Mini Cooper go perfectly with this other British car. And what is really nice is they kind of went ahead and used this mint green color. That's a realistic color that they use on actual Land Rover Defenders. So it's not like they just pulled it out of nowhere. It's a very classic color. My thought would have been to have a dark green personally, but I know that the Mini Cooper is already that kind of British racing green, and it would be silly to have both. So I do understand them having to use this. And honestly, I think it maybe even looks better, the fact that it is this mint green, just because it pops a bit more rather than being dark. You'd lose a lot of the lines.
And it's nice that they kept the roof white as well, so
Classic.
iconic look, instantly recognizable. Next up, we're looking at the City Arctic theme. So when we first saw the images of this theme, we knew we had to have it. We're big fans when they do kind of the specialized city themes, whether it's jungle, Arctic, something other than their regular hospital, police lineup. And this one specifically we like because it mixes diving and Arctic, which we have other sets in our collection from previous years. And we always like to support Lego when they build sets that encourage kids' creativity, that have a lot of play features, that are just very pure and awesome sets. So these ones fit all those criterias. And of course, who can forget the new animals? So there's plenty of new molds in this series, such as the baby seals, the big seals, the little baby polar bear cubs. Here we get a new color of a turtle and a larger turtle. Of course, there's sharks. They may be slightly different color or a slightly different printing than previous sharks. This is the big one. And of course, there's the orca. So great looking sets, lots of pop of color. So on any display shelf, they look awesome. And in our photos, they usually turn out pretty good.
Some of these are just day one buys for me where I had to have them. They're honestly such nice throwback even to the old ships that we have, that we've collected, the big ones, the research ones, but yet adding a modern aspect that you just really don't have in those old sets. So it's beautiful to have them both. And they're always impressive sitting on a shelf because they just have that level of detail when it comes to the cranes, the ROVs, all the different elements on the ships and things. you really can't overlook that. It's truly beautiful.
And specific to this Arctic Explorer ship, what we loved, other than the orca whale, is the little Easter egg that we got. So they released this Viking ship, I believe, in the previous year. And so it's kind of cool how at the bottom of the sea, these guys find, a little old Viking boat and a couple Viking helmets and stuff. So nice nod to sets that they've released previously. This one may be our favorite of the bunch. It's like the photos don't do it justice.
Yeah, it totally doesn't. It surprised us.
It surprised us how big it is and how many compartments it has, and even this build on its own is pretty big. So we love the build on this one and can't wait to take photos with it.
For the city vehicles, these ones are kind of the no themed, or rather just random bits of themes. We have these 4 sets. I started off by getting the penguin truck, and I loved it. It was a nice fun build, nice little costume the guy's wearing. And then we got the others as well. All of them added something to our collection. They added cute animals, they're fun to build, and of course we can't overlook the fact that they're all cost friendly.
And then we did get a couple Jurassic Park sets. So we do hope to get the remaining ones. I think there's 2 or 3 more. These ones I think we got during whether it was a double points event or something, and we do love the dinosaur molds and the truck builds or the Jeep builds. And of course the tree is awesome. You get a lot of leaf pieces, brown pieces. So great looking sets. We haven't done a lot of photos with dinosaurs, but we do enjoy doing those, so we look forward to using these sets for that.
Both of these scenes are iconic scenes in the movie, because the one on the right hand side is almost the first scene where they see the dinosaur, and it uses Steven Spielberg's awesome camera work, and really that's an iconic scene for the beginning of the movie. And then on the left hand side, one of the end scenes, or kind of climax scenes, where the villain is sort of trying to escape. So both are classic scenes from the first movie that we really did enjoy.
Yep. So here we have some more detailed shots. What I liked is that the Jeeps were consistent yet different. So you get 2 different builds, very detailed builds. I think when we were building this, we said they're reminiscent of the Speed Champions builds.
Totally.
So,
and they're also different eras of Jeeps. If you look at the front, they look like different, they have the headlights in different positions. So you could tell they're a different generation of Jeep. And of course, one is a soft top and one is kind of like the open frame. So it's really nice that they're similar yet different.
That's right. Next up, we have this year's modular, which of course is the Jazz Club. So we do have maybe the last 6 or 7 modulars. So we don't have the whole collection, but once you start, it's kind of addicting, or you almost feel like you have to get them. This wasn't one that we loved right off the bat, but we did eventually get it. We do like the colors. It ties in nicely with the city. The pizza shop looks great. Nice details here with the flowers and the Taylor sign. And you can see here how it looks next to these other buildings. I think we have it arranged similarly on our street. So we like that look. And again, here it is with a couple more of them. So again, if you have the modulars, it's almost something that you have to keep buying and collecting, but they are great sets. They do tend to hold their value really well, and they are on the pricier end, but as a price per brick, they're usually the best value.
And detailed.
Next up here is kind of a random set. Every once in a while we buy sets that are kind of outside our norm, and we do find that Ninjago usually has some great builds. So not only is this a really detailed and bulky build, especially with the tree here, but we do have a ninja display in our collection, and it's mostly kind of classic 90s ninja theme. So we were going to use this set as a starting point and develop it further and make it more similar to this set. So we've got some flag pieces we plan to replace, add some similar colors, but we thought it was a great starting point. Lots of great details. Awesome looking build. And I mean, the minifigures are detailed, so I'm sure we'll find use for them as well. But this was one, again, outside of our norm, but really good set.
Adventures 2.0. So we looked and built this sort of Indiana Jones set, and we couldn't help but think this is really reminiscent of the classic Johnny Thunders. It has that old 1950s or 40s style car, the old airplane, and as we were building it, it just felt so reminiscent to that classic Johnny Thunder sets. I think there even is one that is very similar.
It is, yeah. There is the plane and the car and even the professor hat and everything.
Yeah.
So definitely we are fans of the Indiana Jones movies, but we do like to take photos kind of in that capture some of the Lego lore and old school Lego. So this is a great one. I think we already have a shot or two of it, but definitely plan to do more.
So this ski trip building is actually one of my favorites. I gotta say, as we were building it, and quite recently too, almost like a little Christmas kind of Christmas build for us. We were doing it and it just inspired the most beautiful photos. We found this beautiful mountain background, and anyways, you can check it out on our Instagram page, but it was just inspirational. It was a beautiful build with awesome techniques, where especially like the log cabin type second floor, beautiful minifigures. Loved the snowmobile. Actually, it was a small snowmobile, but we really did like it, and it was a really fun build. Adds to all of our Christmas village decorations, and highly recommended.
Next up, we've got the Viking Village. So we're hopeful that this is a start of a Viking diorama for us. We do have the ship from last year, and this one just exhibited amazing techniques. It looks beautiful. I love anytime they have these kind of angled base plates, if you will, or base pieces. It just kind of fits more naturally on a shelf. And we're hopeful there's going to be more minifigure or Viking sets in the future. So we definitely did not want to miss out on this one. And one of the big highlights for us is the torso prints and leg prints. Some of these torsos are making a return from the Viking ship of last year, but now they've added detailed pants as well. So very detailed figures and very detailed builds. So you see on this side the way they use techniques to make the stairs. They have some fish drying here that they caught, different kind of Viking design and architecture on the building, some printed pieces as well, whether it's on this kind of gravestone or on their barrels, probably of mead, and again, the detailed shields. So really cool set. Really happy to have this one in our collection.
This A-frame cabin was one that I saw once it was released, and I knew that we had to have it. It was one that tied in fully with all of our Lego City sort of camping trailers and RVs, and it just looks beautiful. The build itself is one of those realistic style builds that I just like to see, and not only that, it has the trees that kind of go with it, and it's such an intricate build where you really have tons of diorama potential. You put it with any kind of background and it just looks awesome.
Totally.
So inside the building, you can see there's just 2 levels, kind of a full detail. Lots of little pieces that you get with it, whether it's cameras or like an old radio, I think, and some other types of stuff inside. And of course, you have the exterior details as well, the little shower in the back and little bits of kind of humorous parts. But it was a really fun build, and it looks awesome on the shelf here.
It looks awesome, and like these trees, not only is it a great building technique, but you get kind of a green tree, a yellow tree, a red tree. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely kind of like northeastern United States in the fall. Very, very nice autumn colors. And then we have the Bricklink collection. So these are sets that are part of the Bricklink designer program. We were lucky enough to order these kind of as soon as they went live for sale. And if you've tried to buy these in the past, you probably know they sell out very quickly. So we were lucky to pick up these 4. And not only did we want them for our collection, but they're also sets that do tend to do pretty good in the aftermarket for sale. So part of the way that we do kind of keep up with our hobby is we always try and find sets on sale or sets that we think will appreciate in value and try and sell them and make some money to purchase other sets. So it's just kind of a way to fund the hobby. But these sets we really liked. So I like this modular construction one. I think it fits in with any modular street.
Yeah, and for me, I love the diner. The fact that it comes with a car and this nice building that has kind of all the details that fit in with my more small town feel that I'm kind of trying to build in my collection.
And best for last. So we picked the 10320 Dorado Fortress. Couple reasons why we picked this one is a nostalgia factor for us. So it's a 90s remake. The box art, the minifigures, it just has stunning display value. So they obviously Lego doesn't produce raised base plates anymore. So they went ahead and built it fully out of bricks. They brought back sails that are made out of cloth, and really they didn't skip any corners here. So you look at the minifigures, the captain has a slightly different torso. They've got the pirates, parrot, the monkey, and you get a lot of minifigures. So great looking set, and you can see here it's obviously heavily inspired by the original Dorado Fortress. So you see that base plate that they've replaced with the bricks. They have the harbor in front. They have a little boat. They even made the box art kind of similar. They have the flag as well, the crane. And what's cool is they actually also gave a little bit of a nod to the Imperial trading post, set 6277, by including the trading boat from that set. So they took the trading boat from this one, they took the build from this one, and they gave us both. And I just think this is awesome. If they made sets like this every year, my wallet would hate me, but I would love it. So beautiful looking set. It's very reminiscent of what they did last year with the Barracuda Bay. So obviously this is a brand new set, but you could rebuild this set into the Black Sea Barracuda, which is another pirate set from the 90s. And this one on our shelf next to Dorado Fortress, it's just a match made in heaven. So here's another look at the set. Again, a lot of play features too. So if you're buying this for your kids or just to have some fun, like you could use the crane, the boat, the pirates, there's a cannon, there's a nice, like the roof detail here, just awesome set. And what's cool is it can fold out and actually be displayed wide or closed in like we saw in the previous slide. So it takes up a fair bit of room and you get a couple palm trees. So we think, all things considered, this set was definitely number one. Great value, great nostalgia factor, and awesome looking set. So
absolutely
can't say enough about it.
We love a throwback. When they do stuff like this and kind of brings back our childhood, that's always a nice thing.
Exactly. And we did pick a couple top items for 2023. Our favorite minifigure it was tough to choose, but we chose this guy from the Viking Village. Reason being is basically everything on him is brand new. So the face print is unique. I mean, the helmet's pretty rare. The torso print is amazing, so detailed. The pants, the color of it. As you probably know, we're big Forstman fans, and the back of his torso features a deer. So it's something that could be used in a Forstman mock or to make your own custom Forstman minifigure. But we think they put a lot of effort in this figure, and we approve. It's, I think, our pick for 2023.
How can we not love this cute little polar bear? This polar bear was just one of those things where we saw it on the sets and it's like we knew right away this is going to be a big part of why we buy this set. They did release a lot of cool new animals this last year, so it's very tough to narrow it down to this one, and really we like them all. Anytime we get a new animal or a new color. We always love that. But just look at this. It goes perfectly with kind of any polar set that you may have, and it's a great addition to the mama bear.
So that's it, guys. That's what we did in 2023. Let us know in the comments what you guys picked up, what you got, what you liked, and what your favorite minifigure and new animal mold was.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Stay tuned for more videos we have coming your way, more content on our Instagram page, and thank you for watching.